Hello there. Dr. Bill Crawford here, psychologist, speaker, author of 7 books, host of 2 PBS specials. Here again to bring you another tip on how to help you create the life you want. Today I want to look at a concept that's actually been a part of my system for, 20 years maybe, 27 years, but I've never actually done a video on it. I've included it in some other videos, so I thought, hey, why not take this central concept to my system and make it front and center, make a video on it. Now, for those of you who don't know what my system is, I do have a philosophy, a framework, a system that I call life from the top of the mind. It's all about accessing a very specific part of the brain in order to access your best, while avoiding a specific part of the brain in order to avoid the stress, frustration, anxiety that gets in the way of our clarity, confidence, and creativity, gets in the way of us bringing our best to life. And the concept that I want to focus on today are what I call the 4 criteria, or 4 questions that can change your life. Now, these are what I call neocortex questions, top-of-the-mind questions, because they can only be answered by the upper 80% of the brain. I differentiate those from brainstem questions, or what I call sometimes BS questions, that sometimes throw us into that lower 20% of the brain. What is wrong with these people? Or why is this driver driving so slow? Or what's wrong with me? Why do I keep letting these people get to me? Those are what I call brainstem questions, and questions are very powerful. They're kind of like Google on steroids in terms of what part of the brain they focus on, or what part of the brain they engage. So, here are 4 questions I think you can use in almost any decision in any aspect of your life to make better decisions and to help you create the life you want. The first one is this thought, emotion, or action, has it been chosen on purpose? You know, I think this helps us with so many of our reactions when we find ourselves stressed or frustrated or anxious or angry or annoyed or worried or depressed. If we say, hey, did I choose this on purpose? Did I decide to be this way? The answer's got to be no. And that allows us to take this reactive brain and really get really clear, is that something I want to feed? If I haven't chosen it on purpose, maybe it's not something that's truly working for me. I have a right to feel it. You can feel any way you want to feel, but do I really want to feel that way? Has it been chosen on purpose? It takes care of about, 60, 70% of our old reactions that get in our way. The second question is it producing the results I want? How's it working for me? Because, sometimes we'll do something on purpose. Sometimes we'll get really angry at somebody and just tell them off, and we'll do that on purpose. But it doesn't quite create the results I want. They don't often go, oh, thank you for sharing. I feel so much better now. They often come back with their own defense, and now we find ourselves in this cycle of conflict. So we've got to recognize that even sometimes when we choose to do things on purpose, it may not create the results we want. It may not be effective. It may not be working for us. So have I chosen to do this on purpose? Is it working for me? Now, I think it's fair to say that sometimes there are things we choose to do on purpose and it feels really good at the time. But then we get to that third question. Is this the statement I want to make about who I am? Is this how I want to be defined? See, I think we've got to be really careful when we find ourselves reacting to life. Are we defining who we are, or are we allowing difficult people and difficult situations to define us? Are we giving them that power? And I don't think we want to give the difficult people and difficult situations the power to define us, to make us feel a certain way. But when we say, man, difficult people drive me crazy, or work really makes me crazy, or traffic drives me nuts, or difficult people really make me angry, what we're saying is these people, these situations have the power to define us, to make us feel a certain way. So when we ask the question, is this how I want to be defined? Is this the statement I want to make about who I am? Do I want to define myself as someone who responds to difficult people and difficult situations with stress or frustration or anxiety or resentment? Again, I think the answer is no. Can help us clarify. So I'm doing it on purpose? Is it working for me? Is it effective? Is it producing the results I want? Is it making the statement I want to make about who I am? Is it defining me the way I want to be defined? And then there's the 4th question that I think may be more powerful than all 3 put together. Would I recommend this thought, emotion, or action to someone I love? And as a parent, that just bottom lines it. And frankly, I have yet to meet anyone, parent or not parent, that would recommend stress, frustration, anxiety, anger, resentment, worry, depression to someone they love. It brings in love as a criteria for how we choose to be and who we choose to be. Because when we think, would I recommend this to someone I love? Would I teach this to someone I love? I think we get pretty clear answers. So let's look at a typical reaction. You know, traffic drives me nuts. Am I doing it on purpose? No. Is it working for me? No. Is it making the statement I want to make about who I am? No. Would I teach it to someone I love? No. So if we'll take these 4 questions that now have helped us become clear about what we don't want, flip it to what we do want and say, okay, what if I were dealing with the triggers, the stressful, challenging situations in my life on purpose, deliberately, in a way that I think would be more effective, in a way that does define me the way I want to be defined? I am a person that deals with difficult people and difficult situations like this, and in a way I would teach to someone I love. What would that look like? What would that feel like? I think when we ask those questions, we can move beyond, do I have a right to be upset, which of course we do, or do I have a right to think and feel how I feel, of course we do, to, is it done on purpose, is it working for me, is it defining me, would I teach it to someone I love? I think we can use these questions for almost any decision. You know, a career. Have I chosen it on purpose? Is it working for me? Is it defining me the way I want to be defined? Would I teach it to someone I love? A relationship. Almost anything. So these are 4 questions that I really believe can change your life because they bring the top of the mind, this upper 80% of who you are, the clear, confident, creative part of who you are, into the picture as the decider, as the decision-making part of who you are, and allows you to move forward in a way that is purposeful, in a way that has the potential to be more effective, in a way that defines who you are, and in a way you would teach to someone you love. Now, let's assume you use these questions and you find out that whatever decision you made going forward doesn't really work. Okay, well you can still just go back and say, okay, given what I know now, how do I want to do this differently? So when we go into a situation on purpose, deliberately, in a way that defines us, a way that we would teach to someone we love, we get really good information about the results. We can take those results, learn from those results, maybe alter the plan based on this 4 criteria, this top of the mind criteria, and we move forward making better and better and better decisions. So while this has been a part of so many of my videos and certainly a huge part of the system that I go out and teach, it's the first time I've done a video on it. I wanted to make sure you have that. And by the way, if you would like me to come to your organization and do something for your organization where everyone is acting more purposefully in a way that produces the results we want, in a way that defines who we are as an organization, and in the way we would teach to our kids, someone we love, let me know. Love to do that. Go to my website, BillCrawfordPh.com, or just Google Bill Crawford PhD. I'll come up on the first page. Hit the contact button. Let me know what you're interested in, and I would love to work with you about that, on that. In the meantime, here's to you bringing more clarity, confidence, creativity, using the 4 criteria to bring clarity, confidence, and creativity to everything you do. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.